They backed it up, got it cleaned up, tried up, and lay down a 778 at 174. So Turpin will move all the way up to the top part of the second field ladder. That's a good run there for him.
And listen, drivers, instead of going 2 miles an hour down the track, pull over by the wall so we can help you. We don't want you to stop on the track. Pull over to the side of the wall, not in the middle of the damn track. Come on, y'all. Good Lord. For those of you in the stands, that's exactly what you don't do. You don't stop right in the middle of the track. Pull over to the side of the wall. Let our safety personnel come help you to get you off. Please, please, drivers.
Again, we have had a lot of people that have pulled over and stopped immediately, and we do appreciate you doing that. Again, it will help us expedite cleanups and get people off the racetrack. We do appreciate the drivers that have pulled right over to the side and shut them off. If you have a problem on a run, you want to pull over. If you are idling down the racetrack because the car spun the tires, it's all that time that we waste waiting on the next pair to go through. Just think about it from a perspective of you, if you were in the water box and you were waiting.
Not only that, it's not only that, Derek. If you stop in the middle of the track, it's so sticky when you finally move. When you finally move, you may take rubber off the track.
Absolutely, Peter, and that is definitely what we do not want. Considering how well everything has been working here today already, we got a couple of 1.1 second 60-foot times, a couple of GTR Unlimited rides coming up right here. Juan Fernandez and George Dodworth.
The one in the left lane is a T1 race-built GTR. It's just got some bolt-ons.
So Dodworth looks like they're moving over in the groove just a little bit on his one and only pass that he made yesterday. The car immediately struck the tires right off the starting line. So they're trying to move him over a little bit, put him in some fresh prep and fresh glue. See how he does there. Juan Fernandez out of Bronxville, New York, currently is qualified with a 781 on the right side. If Dodworth can put this together, we could have a new #1 qualifier left side. The right side has some immediate problems. Dodworth makes a right-hand move, but gonna hang with it. Pedals out of it to still go 784 left side at 156. The car immediately darted right, but he still hung with it. And right side, see what they did? Pulled right over to the wall and shut it off after the breakage. So Juan Fernandez, thank you so much for pulling over to the side of the wall and shutting it off. Hopefully not terminal damage, but right about the 200-foot mark, you saw all the parts and pieces come out from underneath the car. We're gonna take a look at the FloRacing replay, see if I can see what it is. But Dodworth doing a hell of a job saving it as the car made an immediate right-hand move right off the starting line. He pedaled it, got it straight again, and then got back on the loud pedal. So looking back at it here, that's a great thing. I was just able to back it up. Oh, it looks like on the gear shift, we saw a big fireball pop underneath Juan Fernandez's car. And just out of the corner of the screen, you could see where Dodworth's car made an immediate hard right. Now on your screen, it looks like left. Remember, you're looking at it from the top end, but yeah, Dodworth needed that run because his previous pass, he immediately struck the tires, and that GTR obviously needed to be able to stretch its legs a little bit. Again, not the run that he wanted. He probably wanted something starting with a digit 1 second quicker, but still, a 784 at 156 and a 119 60-foot despite the hard right hand off the starting line. 142 miles an hour at the 8th mile, showing that that car had a lot left in the tank. But again, he was off the loud pedal by the top end, but still a 784 gets him much better in the spot on the ladder than where he currently was. So, ladies and gentlemen, confirmed. It looked like we were looking at it on FloRacing's replay, and it looked like right on the shift, we saw a big fireball pop and then a bunch of parts come out from underneath the car. It has now been confirmed. It was the carbon fiber drive shaft. It prematurely left the chat. We wanted it to hang in for the full 1320, and it made it to about 200 foot mark. It was a quitter. So you've heard of premature acceleration. That was premature shredding. Not that you would ever want on-time shredding for a carbon fiber drive shaft. If anything, the good part about the drive shaft coming apart where it did is the car did not have as much speed, because there are times where carbon fiber drive shafts come apart and those little shards can very easily pop a tire. So if it happened at the top end of the racetrack, it would have been way worse. But the thing also about carbon fiber drive shafts, I've been told, is that any kind of vibration, cracking, rubbing, they will instantly start to come apart a lot quicker than if it was a steel or aluminum shaft. So again, the other thing about carbon fiber, it takes a while to get all the parts and pieces off of it. So while we are doing that, a little bit of cleanup work going on the racetrack, and we are touching up the starting line. So we're gonna try and make chicken salad out of chicken blank while we work on this. So bringing all three machines out, and while they're doing that, Gavin is going to touch up the left-hand side. So what you're seeing there is Gavin Carter, TJ Bailey, and the Maryland International crew working on the starting line. So what happens is, if you have any spots that look thin on the rubber, you see Gavin bringing out the torch and the blade, and what they do is they try to even it out. They try to spread the rubber on the starting line and then run the tractors over it to add some more on top. And what that does is it helps smooth out and even the surface and give everybody a much better starting line. Now again, with a lot of these cars hitting the tires as hard as they are, we see all the 1.0 and 1.1 60 foots. When you do that with a radial tire, it is very hard on the starting line, and in some cases will either make the rubber move if it's soft, or chunk the rubber. It'll pull it away from the starting line. So that's why we need to stay after the starting line here. And it looks like they are going to pull the GTR backwards. That's an interesting viewpoint on FloRacing. You see the tractors coming around and then the GTR going backwards down the racetrack. So unfortunately, looking like the cable snapped on the GTR, so they will push it the rest of the way off. We do have some volunteers out here helping us for TX2K, and we do appreciate them in the orange shirts coming out and helping us for the week. So we're going to add some fresh VHT on the starting line, and we will get back underway shortly here, ladies and gentlemen. We got our stick shift entries, ladies and gentlemen, and I see the guys from Red Horse Performance down there on the starting line. We do appreciate them being on board with TX2K. Red Horse Performance is one of our gold sponsors, so make sure you go over and see them for all your fluid and fitting needs. They joined us on 6 Summer, and the guys took a brand new trailer and decided to smoke it out after we got rained out on one of our days at a racetrack, and that ratchets you up about 10 notches of cool in my book. If you can do a trailer burnout, that's one thing. If you can do a trailer burnout with a fully loaded trailer in a brand new Dodge pickup truck, and you smoke out pretty much everybody else in the drag and drive segment for the day, you get bonus points. So once again, go see my friends over at Red Horse Performance. They're on the manufacturer's midway. We appreciate them being here. The 6-legged capable S10 sits on the left-hand side, and so far, that racetrack has given the stick shift contingent not exactly the hands that they want dealt so far. We have one car in the 6s. That's Jonathan Atkins, who just got into it with a 699. I have little doubt that Coleman will also get there. That car has been 6s several times, so I have no doubt that we will see him in there. Are you showing her the trailer burnout? It looks like that's what he's doing. It looks like he's showing the trailer burnout. So once again, the TVC crews working hard on the racetrack. You see the VHT going down on the starting line as well as being sprayed the entire length of the racetrack. The rig that you see, that is designed by TVC. Instead of using a old school spray rig or a spray design like what TJ Bailey is using that you might get at a local store, a specialty outlet, instead they actually put a spray rig together with spray bars, and what it does, it allows the VHT or whatever traction compound you're using to be sprayed in a more even and equal pattern. So once all the glue goes down, then the tractors will come by and they will add some rubber to the surface. So again, going into the stick shift class, you do not want the abundance of glue. That's actually what they don't want. They want to be able to not dead hook. They want to be able to have some tire spin and be able to keep the revs up where they want it. Otherwise, it's very possible that the stick cars can bounce. You will see tire chatter. Might see tires shake, and all three of those are no good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while we're touching up the racetrack, again, I don't want to pull anybody out of the grandstands, but we have mentioned it over the last 2 days, and as I expected, thankfully, because Peter went and took care of some merchandise for me because I called it in, thankfully I had a guy. I know the track ladies up here on the second floor of the tower, they made waves over there as soon as they could yesterday, as soon as they opened, and they looked like they got Christmas presents, birthday presents, pretty much everything. Go over and visit the TX2K merchandise booth that is located just behind the grandstands as you come towards the front section of them. If you are walking towards the tower and the staging lanes, you will see it there. They are down to less than 30%. They sell out of stuff every year, and this year is obviously going to be no different. Allie said the number that she estimates, and I'm not going to doubt Allie on her numbers, 33 1/3, give or take. She made sure I said the third. It can't just be 33, it can't be 34, it can't be 2/3. It has to be 1/3. Yes, we are precise. We are dealing in thousandths and 10,000ths of a second, ladies and gentlemen, so we have to be precise. We don't round up here. But go over and see the great TX2K merchandise crew. Get yourself some great stuff to take home, including they had a brand new batch of TX2K24 stickers. I managed to grab one. Make sure you go do so too before they run out. While we are waiting and getting the final touch-up work done on the racetrack, once again, for those of you that are watching live and those of you that are here on site, thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the 25th anniversary. Yeah, this is number 25 for TX2K, brought to us by our friends at Summit Racing Equipment. Not just cars and trucks and drag racing and street cars, they also carry lots of great stuff for off-road. They also carry side-by-side stuff for your garage and trailer too. Pretty much everything you could think of. So make sure you go and visit summitracing.com on your mobile device or on your home computer and check out all the great products that they have. They have ways to check out different groups of products, different brands, all different kinds of ways you can search and find out what your next round of upgrades should be. So thank you so much to Summit Racing, and we appreciate them being a part of TX2K. Also, a shout out to all of our platinum sponsors, a lot of them that are here this particular week with us. Platinum sponsors include MVP Motorsports, Hot Rods and Muscle Cars, T1 Race Development, PTP Turbo Blankets, Odom Racing, O260 Performance, The Shop Houston, Texas Speed and Performance, English Racing, Visconti Tuning, M Racing, UPR Performance Products, Quiet Racing, Top Rank Importers, Wagner Tuning, Precision Turbo and Engine, Sissio Performance, who also has several cars in competition out here, Palm Beach Dyno, who also has some cars in competition, AMS Performance, they also have some vehicles in competition, Extreme Turbo Systems, Real Street Performance, which is located behind the tower, Workhorse Performance, LG Motorsports, Titan Motorsports, they have one of the 7-second A90 cars out here, Chef Trans, Boost Logic, Mexico Racing League, Induction Performance, Jotech, also with cars in competition, One Ethanol, which is also represented right behind the tower, Servlight Solutions, Vibrant Performance, and Style & Industries. Those are all our great platinum sponsors here at TX2K, and we appreciate all of them being part of it. We could not do that without them. You know, it's funny, I call the streetcar class to the lanes, and we don't see Brett LaSalla. But somehow, magically, Jim Braun and Brett LaSalla show up, and we have stick shift on the line. Brett LaSalla is currently your #1 qualifier, ladies and gentlemen. He is at the top of the field in streetcar with a 646 at 226. So looking like the tractors may come off after this shot as TJ is taking a look at the starting line and letting us know if he thinks everything is where he wants it, and then he'll give us the thumbs up and we'll roll them up. Still waiting for the official word. And Mike Washington at the front of the lane says, let's put the helmets on and let's get going. So fire them back up, boys and girls. We're ready to go drag racing. Here on day number 3 of TX2K24, brought to us by Summit Racing Equipment. And we'll start with a pair of 6-second capable hot rods. We'll see how they do with the racetrack and the air provided. Attention in the bits, attention in the bits. Final call for heavyweight, qualifier number 6, lanes 1 and 2. Final call heavyweight, lanes 1 and 2 for qualifier number 6. Final call for A90, final call for A90. I need you to lanes 3 and 4, please. A90, A90, I will take you to the lanes 3 and 4, please. I will also take first call, 2JZ, 2JZ for your 6 qualifier, lanes 5 and 6, please. 2JZ, 2JZ for your 6 qualifier, lanes 5 and 6, please. So on nearly 2,400 feet of air, ladies and gentlemen, we get back underway. And an authoritative burnout left-hand side from Nick Coleman. Ryan Pedersen right side in the Corvette, the twin parachute packing Corvette. And wow, we're gonna start with some heavy hitters. Sean Madden and Jonathan Atkins rolling into the water next. We'll get started here. Nick Coleman left side. Out of Wisconsin, the 91 S10 pickup truck, the LS power plant with twin turbos underneath. Currently qualified at 714, but at a blistering 206 miles an hour. He's left side. Ryan Pedersen, out of Wisconsin as well, right side. An 894, he has had problems galore so far. This car should be in the deep 7s, but has not gotten there yet. So the speedy Petey right side, Nick Coleman, left side. Coleman, 111.60 foot. The pickup truck is rolling top end 682 at 212 miles an hour. Your new #1 qualifier right there, Nick Coleman, 682.7 at 212.43 miles an hour. A 111.60 foot for Coleman. Wow. What a shot there, and he takes over the #1 qualifying spot. Unfortunately for Ryan Pedersen, he continues to have problems and coasts to a 14:50 time slip. And it looks like he may be pulled over at the top end. No, it looks like the car is actually rolling, so we are okay there. So Nick Coleman, with his first 6-second pass of the event, rips away the #1 qualifying spot from the man on the right-hand side, the Grubworm.
And he was 1/10 of a second off of his personal best. 1/10 off his personal best, which is a 6.72.
And considering how soupy the air is right now, we are at 2,400 feet of density altitude, so to be only a 1/10 of a second off your personal best, again, as I mentioned earlier, showing just how good the racetrack is. Sean Madden and Jonathan Atkins next. They roll to the starting line, a pair of white Chevrolet products. Madden out of Louisiana left side, the 2008 Corvette. The next shift, YouTube channel, 723 at 186, currently has him qualified in the #3 spot. #2 on the right-hand side, your other 6-second car that just saw #1 get ripped away from him in the first pair. This is Jonathan Atkins, the Grubworm. The LT Junk, as he calls it, 97 model Camaro out of North Carolina. Can he regain the top spot? Little maybe wheelie, and he gets back after it. Madden right along side of the top end of the scoreboard. 760 right side at only 147 for Atkins. Madden also out of the gas early, 753 at 147. A 120 60 foot for Atkins, a 111 60 foot left side for Madden. Once again, I need 2JZ for qualifier number 6 to lanes 5 and 6, please. 2JZ for your 6 qualifier, lanes 5 and 6, please. I need A90, your final call, lanes 3 and 4, please. A90, your final call, lanes 3 and 4. We go from rear-wheel drives to all-wheel drives. Let's bring up a pair of all-wheel drive imports. 1998 model Honda Civic left side, Aaron Lopez out of Texas, currently qualified in the 13-second range. He'd like to cut that time slip almost in half. Lucas English right side in the Mitsubishi Evo, currently qualified at 8:37 at 176. Honda off first, 131 60 foot. Lucas gives chase, top end says 791 left side, 773 right side. A pair of 7-second passes side by side. That will move English up to number 5, Lopez. With the 791 on the left lane, we'll move up to number 7.
And we have Miles Kerr, the world famous Miles Kerr, coming up in the right lane.
The Washington-based 1994 Acura Integra, who is also pulling double duty in the roll race segment.
Miles is a rock star in his own mind. That's why I'm giving him a hard time. I've known him for many, many years. English Racing, a platinum sponsor for like the 10th year in a row.
He came and visited me in the tower yesterday. We were talking about the little puffs of smoke that keep coming out of his car at the top end. What happens is the tires are touching when he gets off the throttle. So Miles currently qualified at 774. He's in the number 6 spot. Left side, Joanna Gonzalez out of Orlando, Florida. The 2000 Civic, 830 at 195 is where she's qualified. She'd love a 7-second pass right here. Right side is ready. Left side is ready. And Joanna, a lot of tire spin. Miles, 133 60 foot, and he is trucking. 795 at 182. He slows down a little bit. Joanna, after the tire spin, 852, but look at the speed, 198 for Joanna. A lot of trap speed there for the Honda on the left side. And look who's coming up as our final stick shift car.
And this is Joel Granis, the second quickest stick shift car in the world. I think he's gone 6.69. Jonathan Atkins, the quickest, has gone 6.61.
Correct.
So let's see, this is Joel's first pass. I assume it's going to be an A to B pass since he just arrived on the property this morning.
As mentioned, this is your second quickest stick car in the world. It does hold the fastest mile an hour. 116.60 foot. And Granis out of the throttle at the 8th mile will coast to an 860 at just 117, but a 116.60 foot. Other than the car making a little bit of a move to the right-hand side, it was on a good first part of the run. But they will probably use the data and make the tune-up necessary to get after it and get into the 6s on the next one. But that gets him in the field for now. All right, so we're going to touch up the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. DCT will come up next, our largest field in the drag race segment. So DCT drivers, if you are not in the lanes 9 and 10, you need to be there. DCT drivers, if you are not in the lanes, we need you there. And right now, Peter, 14 cars in DCT qualified quicker than 8 seconds flat. Once again, showing just how good that starting line is. So we'll touch the racetrack up here just a little bit and get ready for DCT.
Derek.
Again, go ahead.
Derek.
Yes, sir.
So is this the last class for round 5 of qualifying?
Yes, sir, that is correct. DCT will be your final class for qualifier number 5.
So guess what comes after that? Round 6.
Yep, and we have already called 3 classes so far. Heavyweight, A90, and 2JZ. I have called you to the lanes. If you're not in the lanes, you're late. I need you there. Peter, since you're the historian here at Texas 2K.
If you're building a track car or a daily driver, Autosports Engineering has got you covered. We manufacture some of the best billet performance parts in the market today, from transmission conversions to custom carbon drive shafts and drive shaft adapters. We use only the highest quality materials and equipment to ensure that our parts are not only strong, but also the finest quality. Whether you're looking to improve your vehicle's performance, reliability, or durability, Autosports Engineering has the perfect solution for you.
We drive tech. We drive the industry. Going beyond the limits and advancing forward. A versatile all-in-one solution. We're here for you every step of the way. And that's why you see Fuel Tech everywhere.
Whether you're building a dedicated track car or a daily driver, Autosports Engineering has got you covered. We manufacture top quality billet performance parts that cater to a wide variety of applications, from transmission conversions and custom drive shafts to valve covers. We use only the finest materials and advanced technology to produce the most reliable parts out there in order for you to achieve your goals. If you would like to find out more about our products, feel free to reach out to us at autosportsengineering@gmail.com or check out the website at autosportsengineering.com.
Currently have made qualifying passes left side. Feliciano out of New York, currently on a 29-second pass. He would like to improve that. Right side, Tommy Kim has an 869 in his pocket. Left side has some trouble off the starting line, and that will greatly affect the ET. Tommy on another good run right side. Goes 859, pushed by a tenth of a second. 10:13 at 164, so good speed there for Feliciano, but a 10:13, a 257 60-foot, having problems down low, and that will not help when you're looking at where you can qualify in the field, considering what we are taking for the DCT class. Actually, right now it looks like we are taking 3 fields of 16 cars, and if you want to get qualified, you're going to need probably something better than a 10-second time slip. All right, here comes your next pair of cars, Jason Lucas and Joe Ahumada. Ahumada left-hand side, the Fort Mill, South Carolina made Audi, currently qualified at 806. Jason Lucas in the GTR, currently qualified at 1073. And he's going to improve on that here. 961 at 145, 797 at 189 left side for Joe Ahumada now. 15 cars, quicker than 8 seconds flat. So our top field just 1 car away from being an all 7-second field here in DCT. Our next pair, heading towards the starting line, another GTR versus Lamborghini battle. Kenny Tran and Brandon Gauthier. Gauthier out of San Antonio, Texas, right side. Currently qualified at 871 and 158 in the GTR. The Lamborghini left side. That's Kenny Tran, currently qualified at 844 at 176. GTR goes 850. 851 for the Lamborghini. So side by side, 8.5 second time slips. The GTR improving by 0.2 of a second. The Lamborghini slowing by 0.06 of a second. So Gauthier moves to number 24. Tran will stay number 23. That'll bring up a pair of GTRs next.
Derek, is that Luna and Isla?
It is.
So we got two female racers here, Luna Tran, Jotech built car, and Isla, also a Jotech built car. Battle of the ladies coming up.
Isla Galieva out of Garland, Texas, right side, and Luna Tran also out of Garland, Texas. So in all Garland, Texas, all GTR, all female starting line. Both of them looking for an 8-second pass. Actually, Luna with an 8:05 currently in her pocket might be looking for a 7. A little bit of a bobble off the starting line, and the car making a violent move right about the 300-foot mark. That will not help her ET.
And there is some debris on the track at around the 1,000 to 1,320 foot. Looks like something came off the car there in the left lane. A belt, maybe?
Yep, so we're gonna put them on hold here for just a minute while we let the spotters hop out, check everything out. Once again, Peter, not sure if you can hear me down there. I know the speakers in a couple of places are not the best, but we are one car away from having an all 7-second field in your top 16. Only one car in the 8s.
And Derek, correct me if I'm wrong. If you red light during qualifying, it doesn't matter. Your ET still counts, right?
That is correct. The only time the red light matters is eliminations. Christian Ortega and Tim Hopkins next. Hopkins out of Blue Ash, Ohio, right side. The Lamborghini Huracan, that's the blue car with the orange accents. 974, 162. Currently on the 4th qualifying field. Left side, Christian Ortega out of San Antonio, Texas. 894, 160 for the GTR. GTR on a good run so far. Gonna be right about that same ET. 905 at 160. 975, 161. So neither driver improved. They're actually very consistent with where they were previously. And my apologies, actually, as I'm looking at the replay here, just from my vantage point, the tower, the right-hand side looked like it had orange accents on the wheels. Actually, it looks more copper. So my apologies, Tim. Looks better with the copper. My apologies, but in my opinion, I'm a Gator, so orange and blue works too. All right, our next pair rolling towards the starting line. Mark Cyrus Jr. His license plate says, "I'm Daddy." We have Mark Cyrus Sr. here. Be interested to see how that works out. The McLaren left side, Tim Hoptop. In the Audi R8 right side. Audi qualified at 971, 952. The current best time for Cyrus Jr. Both of them off the line. They're glued together as they go down the racetrack. 930 at 155 on the left side. Looks like Tim Hoptel's kind of rolled off the starting line, and that slowed his ET. 1019 at 158 is what he ran. Our next pair, another McLaren and Audi battle. We just saw Mark Cyrus Jr., now Mark Cyrus Sr. Senior on the left-hand side out of Falling Waters, West Virginia. 2021 model McLaren 765 LT, qualified at 923. In this matchup, he will line up with Luke Carlisle. Carlisle out of Albuquerque, New Mexico in the Audi, currently qualified at 858. The Audi out in front, McLaren giving chase, top end, 846 for Luke, 919 for Mark Cyrus Sr. So both drivers improving over what they previously ran. Good runs for both. And Joe Martinez on the left side in the Audi R8 had the rear end kind of kick around on him a little bit, so taking a second to collect his thoughts before he rolls out. towards the starting line. Meanwhile, right-hand side is Jordan Martin. Martin, one of the quicker cars here.
Hey, Derek,
Yes, sir.
was the left lane trying to do a sideways burnout?
Yeah, it's the newest thing. You haven't heard about it?
It's actually not often that you see in the burnout box a car facing 90 degrees.
Again, it's TX2K. Anything can happen here. Jordan Martin out of Illinois, currently qualified at 762. Can he improve on it? 766 right side at 198 and a 797 at 202.05 miles an hour for Joe Martinez. Apparently the sideways burnout works.
Those are absolutely insane miles an hour. 200-mile-an-hour street cars.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You now have your top field of all 7-second cars in DCT. All of them.
Which is a first for TX2K again.
A pair of teammates, an all-female starting line rolling up here. Brooke Barini on the right-hand side of the racetrack. And Sana Databoy on the left-hand side, who has made her first 8-second pass. Brooke made her first 7-second pass yesterday. She's right side in the bright pink GTR. The black GTR out of California for Sana Databoy. Went 887 yesterday. Brooke looking for another 7 and gets it. 791, improving on her pass from yesterday at 181. And Sana also improving 876 over her 887, so both females get a better time slip here.
At this point, Brooks like a bracket racer. 7 after 7 after 7.
No doubt she will have a smile on her face that is painted on, and Sana as well. Came here with 0 8-second runs and now has 2 of them in her pocket. So Brooke Marini moves up to number 11 on the sheet. Here comes your next pair, Becca Marceau and Leonardo Lopez left side. Lopez in the GTR out of New Jersey. Currently with a 14-second pass, they're looking to fix that. Becca right side, 897 for the Audi. So she already has a good run. The GTR looking to better that 14-second pass. Looks like they could do it here until we got to the 8th column. The car violently starts to slow down, 877. For Becca.
And thank you, left lane. You pulled over and went close to the wall. Thank you for doing that.
Yep, that's exactly what we needed. So a tough break there for the GTR. A 13-second pass will not keep you qualified for long. We roll our next pair to the starting line.
What do we have? 2 more pair, 3 more pair coming up, and then qualify round 6.
Yep, a little bit of racetrack touch up. Again, I have called my first 3 classes. Heavyweight A90 and 2JZ for qualifier number 6. If you're not in the lanes, you're late. You need to be there. 2JZ, your final call. 2JZ, your final call. I need you now, please. Lanes 5 and 6. Charlie Turbos coming up left side in the Lamborghini. Right side, Nicole Vila out of Las Vegas, Nevada in the Lamborghini. Left side currently has an 836 under his belt. Right side, Nicole has not made a pass yet, so this will be Nicole's first crack at the racetrack. Attention in the bids, attention in the bids. I will take exhibition, exhibition. I need you next, exhibition. Lanes 7 and 8, please, exhibition. Right side, Nicole has problems as the car stalls out just off the starting line. Charlie Turbo's rolling and goes 885 at 178. So The valuable time he lost on the 60-foot will not help him there. And Nicole will just putt down the right-hand side. It'll get her on the sheet for the moment, but a 21-second pass will probably not keep you qualified. Again, I'm looking for exhibition class, lanes 7 and 8, please. Our next pair, Ken Punziak and Bobby Hoffman. Hoffman making the tow from Pennsylvania right side, 2021 model Audi R8. Currently qualified at 862 at 160. Left side, Ken Punziak. 2020 model Audi R8. 799 is his best run. He's currently qualified in the number 16 spot. Down the racetrack they go. 783 at 191 for Ken, improving by over a tenth and a half from his 799. That'll move him up to number 9. Now the bump, 797 to get into the fast field. On the opposite side, an 852 at 171 for Bobby Hoffman, improving him by a tenth of a second from his previous pass. That'll keep him solidly in the second field. Two more cars, both in the 7s, will wrap us up here in DCT. Tony Ernest left side, Alexander Rodriguez right side. Rodriguez out of Florida in the white Audi. 781 is what he's qualified with currently. Tony Ernst, Osal out of Florida. The Audi R8 left side, 795 is what he's qualified with. Alexander away. Tony with a little bit of a bobble and he's away. 779 for Alexander, improving. 780 at 193 for Tony, and a 201 mile an hour blast right side. Both drivers improving greatly over what they ran previously. They now are qualified number 8 for Rodriguez, number 9 for Tony Ernst. How would you like to be able to go from a 795 to a 780 and you still get bumped down a spot?
And qualifying round, I'm going to say something I never thought I'd say. Qualifying round number 6 coming up. And, God willing, we'll do a 7th.
So ladies and gentlemen, 5 rounds complete here at TX2K24, brought to us by Summit Racing Equipment. And again, your top 16 field for the first time ever in TX2K history, all 7-second cars currently anchored by a 797. So we will touch the racetrack up here just a little bit, and we will get ready to rinse and repeat. We'll go back to the start of the order and get our first couple classes coming in, as we have called heavyweight, A90, 2JZ, and now I have called exhibition. Exhibition, I need you to lane 7 and 8, please. Exhibition. Exhibition, lanes 7 and 8, please. So once again, the great crews working together on the starting line. You see all the, it literally looks like it's been organized in advance, but again, this is what happens when you bring crews in, ladies and gentlemen, in my personal opinion, that know how to work together. They know exactly what to do, and it gets everything taken care of pretty much in quick fashion. Because again, everybody kind of knows their assignment. They know what to look at, they know what to take care of, and it allows them to get after it. And again, we will be back on the racetrack a lot quicker. Again, you've heard me numerous times thank the great track crew that we have working here. And I want to name a couple of people in particular. Ralph and Thomas from TVC, we appreciate them. Get to see them at numerous events throughout the year, and they are here working hard on behalf of Total Venue Concepts, that's TVC. Also want to take a minute to shout out FloRacing. Obviously, it would not be as big of an event if we didn't have the crowd watching at home and watching at work when they should be working, but hey, I'm not blaming you. So thank you so much to the FloRacing crew. Eric, Chris, Justin, Kyle, Sean, Bo, Garrett, Matt, and Graham. A big crew of people here for FloRacing, and thank you all so much for being here. Obviously, we appreciate your hard work. As I mentioned, showed up this morning at 7 o'clock when the gates opened, and they were already here working hard as we had just started to work on the racetrack. So we appreciate all their great work on behalf of FloRacing. And again, I started mentioning some names here for the track crews that we have brought together.
Also, sponsors, listen up. If you have not picked up your sponsor bag, go to the TX2K apparel store to get your sponsor bag. Sponsors, go to the apparel store to get your sponsor bags.
And since you bring up the sponsors, we have already said thank you to our platinum sponsors here today. How about our gold sponsors? Quite a few of them. And again, this event would not be what it is without all the hard work of not only the sponsors, but the shops. We appreciate all of them. They include Brian Crower, Gerhold Electric, Nitrous Outlet, 412 Motorsport, AIM Performance, Cletus McFarland, Boosted Racing, TG Motorsports, VP Racing Fuels, Clavo Motorsports, O&E Speed Shop, Alpine Survival, DME Tuning in Texas, Terry Day Racing, Turbo Smart, Lux Auto Boutique, East Coast Supra, Skoganiki Parts Center, Contingent Athletics, Bailey's High Performance, Red Horse Performance. We saw those gentlemen up here during stick shift. Lethal Performance of Texas, AZ Cycle Parts, Datsun Motorsport, Coyote Direct, Nth Moto, Charbonnaire Performance, Emory Dayton Induction, Lux Speed, and Harrison Performance. Those are all of our gold sponsors. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I say this at each and every event that I go to, no matter what series, no matter what standalone, no matter what racetrack. Again, these events would not happen without all the great people as part of the crews we have, but also would not happen without all the great sponsors, shops, and supporters. So again, the biggest thing I would ask from a fellow enthusiast and racer standpoint, whenever possible, please consider supporting those that support these events. All the great people that I just named off, they put in the time, money, and energy, a lot of them, to be here on property and or send a lot of help in the form of sponsorship dollars. That helps the purses get paid, hire the great crews that we have here to keep things running smoothly, and again, allow the event to prosper. 25 years for an event is no small feat, so we could not do it without those great sponsors. So thank you so much to all the platinum sponsors, all the gold sponsors, and once again, our presenting sponsor, Summit Racing Equipment. Please go and visit summitracing.com. The World Speed Shop. Make sure you visit them for your next round of upgrades and to put together your to-do list, so to speak. Everything from garage to trailer, hot rod, muscle car, pickup truck, off-road, and more. At this time, I will take my exhibition class, lanes 7 and 8, please. Exhibition, lanes 7 and 8. Attention in the pits, I will take GTR Unlimited, lanes 9 and 10, please. GTR Unlimited, lanes 9 and 10, please. GTR Unlimited, lanes 9 and 10, please. All right, as Peter mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get into our 6th round of qualifying. And I have called my first 5 classes. So again, if you want to make your next qualifying shot and you are not in the lanes for these classes, you're late. Well, except for the last one because I just called it. Heavyweight, A90, 2JZ, Exhibition, and GTR Unlimited. Those are the 5 classes I have called. Once again, heavyweight, A90, 2JZ, Exhibition, and GTR Unlimited. Those are my classes I have called. If you are in any of those classes and you are not in the lanes other than GTR Unlimited because I have just called it, you're late. Look at the extra effort in the water box from Mike Washington. A team player right there, ladies and gentlemen, and also a naturally aspirated stick shift racer, so he gets bonus points. And Michael Washington not being premature on the water laying out. He does it at just the right time. TJ Bailey laying down a little additional traction compound on the right-hand side as we get ready to go into the heavyweight class, ladies and gentlemen. Again, already some very quick cars have laid down some very good runs, and our 16-car field currently being anchored by a 943 pass in the heavyweight class. Ladies and gentlemen, if I have not told you already, we have a very special guest with us this week at TX2K. Scott Whitty celebrating his 21st birthday. And it does not happen very often. See, you notice Kyle pointing at him, see? 21st birthday, ladies and gentlemen. So please, please, make sure you tell Scott Whitty happy birthday. And I'll give Scott Whitty a special shout out because of all the photos that he gets, and he gets a bunch of them, he always comes up to the tower and somehow magically makes me look good, and that's a very difficult thing to do. So thank you, Scott. I don't know what filter you're using, but keep using it, sir. Thank you very much. All right, heavyweight class rolling in. How about a modern Camaro and a square body pickup truck? That's the way to get heavyweight started. A couple of 4,000-pound behemoths in the water box to get us started here. Chad Gower and Travis Lamb to get us started here in heavyweight, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifier number 6. Again, my final call, GTR Unlimited, final call, Exhibition. Final call, GTR Unlimited, final call, Exhibition. Need you now, please. So out of the burnouts and getting ready to roll into the pre-stage beams, Chad Gower out of Chapel Hill, Tennessee, left side, the square body, 85 Chevy pickup truck. 831, 162 is what he qualified with yesterday, puts him number 4. Travis Lamb, right side out of Katy, Texas, in the Camaro, 939. How bad would it be to get drugged by a pickup truck? You're about to find out. The pickup truck is gone. And the Camaro still sitting on the starting line. Chad to the finish line, throws the chute early and still goes 890. At only 120 miles an hour, he might have seen something he didn't like, so he shut it off early and pulled the parachute. 953 for the Camaro at 147 will not improve Travis Lamb's number 15 qualifying spot. He'll stay where he was. And even though the parachute came out early, ladies and gentlemen, that was probably not a premature parachute drop. More than likely, that was, you didn't see something that he liked, and so he got off the loud pedal and instant through the chute. As you saw the truck kind of nosedive just past the 1,000-foot mark on the FloRacing feed, and immediately the driver just instinctively throws the chute. So they are checking the racetrack just to make sure that because the truck got out of the gas that nothing got on the racetrack before we send Clifton Song and Jill Hicks to the starting line. Yep, we have the all clear, so now Jill Hicks can do the burnout. So we're getting reports of the truck losing the blower belt. That would explain why the nosedive. So we are all clear. Clifton Song in the 2021 Jeep Trackhawk right side, the twin turbo one. Go over and take a look at it in the pit area. They made nice little cuts in the hood for the turbos to get the air. Jill Hicks out of Michigan in the Camaro. Jill is on the left side of the Trackhawk, the all-wheel drive Trackhawk right side. Both of them in the 9 so far in qualifying. And they stay there, 9:16 for the Trackhawk, 9:18 at 154 for Jill's Camaro. Jill improving by about a quarter of a second over what she ran earlier. That will move Jill Hicks to the number 14 spot. Once again, my final call, GTR Unlimited. Final call, GTR Unlimited. I need you now, please. GTR Unlimited lanes 9 and 10. GTR Unlimited lanes 9 and 10, please. On FloRacing, watching this, a nice side-by-side battle between the two cars, and Clifton Song's Trackhawk getting there first by about a car length. David Van Voris and Joseph Maldonado are next. Maldonado, the Camaro left side, currently qualified at 876, 931 for the big F-150 pickup truck. The Camaro instantly has problems. David Van Voris in the pickup truck, qualified number 15. He's not going to improve on it here. 11:10 out the back door for the pickup truck. And the Camaro has trouble and will coast to a 20-second pass. So David Van Voris apparently must have either a nitrous system or he's got a knob that he currently doesn't have at the 10 spot. He must have it somewhere lower. Because he went 931 at 148 and there just going in the 11-second range. So he must be on the lower boost setting or just not using the nitrous. Again, he is currently qualified in the number 15 spot. The bump spot is 939 currently. So we are on hold right now while we check out the left-hand lane, seeing if something came out of the left car. All right, attention in the pits, attention in the pits. At this time, I will take GTR 68. GTR 68, I will take you to the lanes, please. GTR 68. GTR 68, I will take you to the lanes, please. Yep. All right, so once again, checking out the racing surface right now, ladies and gentlemen. No details as of yet, but we are not going to send anybody down an unsafe surface. So just checking everything out. As soon as I have more details, I will let you know. All right, so we have the all clear signal. We're going to go right back at it, ladies and gentlemen. I believe this is our final pair of heavyweight cars. And our next class out will be the A90 class. Once again, I have called GTR 68. GTR 68 lanes 1 and 2, please. GTR 68. GTR 68 lanes 1 and 2. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot hear the PA system, 88.7 on the FM frequency is where you can catch us. Make sure you go over and visit that TX2K merchandise booth that is located at the front section of grandstands just behind them. Go over and grab what you need right now before they sell out of it. Kevin Van Boris in the Dodge. Eric Moreno in the Caddy. The Caddy is currently qualified. The Mopar is not. And the Mopar will stay not qualified. 968 is not good enough to break into the field. He'll stay in the number 17 spot. The Caddy goes 934, 153, not improving on the 916. So Eric will stay qualified in the number 13 spot. That'll wrap up the heavyweight class.
Did he get enough heat in the tires?
I don't know. It's a sliding scale.
I mean, I didn't see much smoke.
Yeah. Remember, the sideways burnout worked before, so there may be some new methods in use. So our first pair out of A90. Nick Fotiers on the right-hand side out of New York. 2021 model Super, currently qualified at 907 in the number 15 spot. Left side, Devin Schultz. Normally seeing him driving the Red Demon, but behind the wheel of an A90 car here out of Illinois. This is his first crack at the racetrack. And loses a part down there. Still accelerating. And Devin goes 828 at 176 miles an hour to bust his way in to the number 8 spot. An 887 at 158 for Nick Fotiers. On the right side, he's number 13. And now an all 7 and 8 second field in A90. Peter, I hope you heard that.
Sorry, I was talking to Allie in the tower, and all I heard you say is Peter. I hope you heard that.
All right, I'll repeat it, Peter. Right now, your bump spot for A90 is an 893, is an all 7 and 8 second field in A90.
Sheesh.
So right now, an 893 is what you need to get in. And Devin Schultz on his first pass, 828 rockets to the top half in the number 8 spot. But we did see a part come off the car on its way down, so looks like left-hand lane may have some touch-up work needed as the crew is giving the shut it off signal, so we may be bringing the track equipment out here.
It's just a broom tractor that's needed. A little bit of debris in the left lane at the 1,000 foot. We'll brush it off and be good.
Perfect. Should only take just a couple minutes, hopefully. Again, the crew right on top. And you notice all the spotters down the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. This is what makes the difference. When you have a great crew like this, they can instantly hop over the wall and catch this kind of stuff. It saves the crew that normally is on the starting line from having to jump on a piece of track equipment and go down there and check it out to see if there's even a problem. So having all these spotters down the wall really does speed up the process. And again, when you're running this many cars and this many classes over an entire week, time is of the essence. And so once again, the crew's proving to do a great job here. As I mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, while we have a quiet moment, please go over and visit the TX2K merchandise booth. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you to do so. Again, this morning they were down to under 40% of stock remaining. Every year they sell out of merchandise. If you have not gone and gotten what you want, I would highly advise you to go do it right now while we have a minute. Again, the shirts all were in stock as of last night. Not sure about all sizes, but I do know they had all versions of them. So you definitely want to go over and grab that while you can.
My name is Jason Harris. I'm from Pittsburgh, North Carolina, and I drive the 1969 Party Time Pro Boost Pro Charge Camaro. I'm different in a way that I don't get rattled real easy. I've been doing this a long time. I was born and raised. Drag racing, I don't know anything else. This is my family. This is where I grew up. So I'm just out here to have fun and do the best I can. And you know, we're a low budget team and we kind of do the best we can with the high budget teams, but we're out here to race and put on a good show. Well, the good thing about PDRA is you can come, you can be a part of the pits. It's not like you're roped off where you can't be in there and come see me. You can walk right up to my car. You can ask me questions along with anybody else. We're more of a family, more of a homegrown organization where everybody can come see and be a part of racing. It's, you know, a really, really down to earth business, and it's ran as well as any organization can. I think some of the fans don't get to see a lot of the behind the scenes it takes to put on one of these races for the track and the staff at PDRA. And me as a racer, I just enjoy going up and down the racetrack on a safe racetrack, know that it's going to be done in a timely manner, and I can get home to my family. Well, being as an 8-mile race, you know, not always the fastest car wins. So sometimes you got to be good on both ends of the racetrack. You got to be, you know, good on the tree. You got to be concentrated, but you also have to have a pretty fast hot rod. So I think you got to put 2 and 2 together. Where other organizations, I don't think are so much. I think you can just kind of be the fastest car with the most money, and you seem to pick up win lights. I'm kind of a weird driver. I like to be able to race as hard as I can. I'd rather run somebody that I've got to go 100% on and do the best I can. That's when you'll see me shine. Playing the ladder game's never been my thing. I just want to race and take, you know, every round you can. I'd rather have the number one.
Passion for automobiles. And once again, without the media, we could not do that. So once again, to all of the photographers, the videographers, all the people out here doing social media, thank you so much for all your efforts on behalf of the TX2K team. We do appreciate all your hard work. Ashray Gandhi and Daniel Vallejo come up next. Vallejo out of Massachusetts in the BMW right side. 8:48 at 166 for the Beamer. Currently your number 10 qualifier. Pretty solid. Ashray Gandhi over on the left-hand side. 9:21 at 169 for the 2020 Supra out of New York. Obviously would like to move up. They're in the number 17 spot. Need to run something in the 8s to get there. Not with a 178 60 foot unless it's going to have a hell of a back half. 876 for the BMW. 929, but look at the speed, 169. So Ashray, unfortunately, continuing to have problems on that front half. 178 60 foot is where all the time is being lost. And here comes our next pair, Matt Meadows and William Lee. Out of Seattle, Washington, right side. The 2021 Supra, 979 and 151. Currently not in the field in the number 19 spot, right side. Matt Meadows, 836, left side, and just has a little bit of, looked like it could have been smoke. It might have been a little bit of mist, but he's back underway. William Lee looking to get into the 8s, but won't do it. 1042. At 151 miles an hour, lost valuable time on the 60-foot. 177 60-foot will not get you down there. So again, William Lee on the outside looking in the number 19 spot is not currently qualified. Give the signal to burn out the next pair, Noel Mitchell and Jesse Isgire. Once again, I'm looking for GTR Unlimited and GTR 68. GTR Unlimited and GTR 68. I need you to the lanes, please. GTR Unlimited, GTR 68. I need you now, please. Jesse Isagier, left-hand side, 2020 model Supra. Noel Mitchell out of Virginia, right side, the 2020 model Supra. That's the white car. Currently qualified at 817, right side. Left side is not in the top 16. 845 right side. Left side is not going to make it in with a 1076. Ladies and gentlemen, I've told you about some of our great sponsors here at TX2K. Two of them are located at the top end of the racetrack, and definitely a couple of people you would want to go see if you have any questions whatsoever in regards to traction and fuel choices. So VP Racing Fuels at the top end of the racetrack just past the grandstands on pit side, and also Mickey Thompson Tires has their rig down there at the area just past the grandstand. So if you would like to go and get all the latest and greatest information on all the flavors of fuel, coolant, and additives that VP Racing Fuel offers, you can go visit them. You can also visit Mickey Thompson Tires. They have all the latest and greatest tire designs. They can talk to you about the tires of choice that should work good for your vehicle. Adil Adams and Adrian Alicia. Alicia out of New Jersey, left side. Currently not qualified. One of our 7-second rides, Adil Adams, the tight motorsports car. 828 right side. 846 for Adrian Alicia, and will bump into the field, knocking Visconti out. So Adrian goes to number 10. And we will stay with the previous 786 for Adil Adams. So it looks like the left-hand side having some problems. And my friends over at the Summit Truck checking in, we appreciate them. being here, our presenting sponsor, Summit Racing Equipment. Appreciate them being here on site. Thank you for checking in, sir. Appreciate it. And it looks like they are trying to get the left-hand side. Kevin Ailman, who is not currently qualified. I've heard of jumping in the car to get things right. This is a new one. Not sure if it's the tuner or somebody that's just trying to get something worked out here. But Kevin Ailman out of Kissimmee, Florida, not currently in the top 16, and it looks like, unfortunately, will not make it in here as they have some problems with the car. And that's unfortunate. That, I believe, was our final A90 car. So they will back the Garrett-backed A90 and send it back to the pits. Hopefully can get it figured out. But right now, again, the bump spot stands at an 893. That's what you need to run quicker than in order to be able to get into the field. So A90 is now wrapped up. 21 cars currently on the sheet. We will take 16 to eliminations. That'll move us into our next class, which is the 2JZ class. So we're going to do some touch-up because we've got a 6-second car in this class and a couple of 7-second cars, so we want to make sure that starting line is tight and ready to go. So we'll lay down a little bit of fresh rubber and fresh traction compound. And then we will get ready to jump into the 2JZ class. So once again, to give you some information on some of these classes as we're going through, I have covered this a little bit throughout the previous 3 days, but a couple things I want to mention again. For drivers and crews out there, if by some chance I butcher your name or I get it wrong or the name that we have on the entry is incorrect, it is not being done on purpose. Trust me when I tell you, as a racer, I would not want to intentionally butcher somebody's name, but again, phonetically, sometimes names are not exactly how somebody pronounces them, or I just am completely wrong. But either way, feel free to come to the second floor of the tower, room number 208, and then the announcer booth. Feel free to come on in and let me know as nicely as possible. Constructive criticism is appreciated. I will do my best to not butcher your name as much. I'm not going to guarantee I get it 100% right, but I will at least try to do better. You can also send me a message on Facebook as well. I'm the only guy, I believe, that is the Derek Putnam with a green Nova. If there's more than one, then I feel sorry for them. As green is an underappreciated color. And by under, I've had people that have literally told me paint it black instead, it'll be perfect. So the TVC tractors out there getting the racetrack exactly as we need it to be. Again, keeping everything tight. We have already had some great performances. Jeremy Sparks, as I mentioned earlier, one of the few cars that has been in the 1.0. Yeah, 1.0. 60 foot. And not just once, 3 times for him. So we will continue to work on that starting line and get ready to go into the 2JZ group. Now, the 2JZ class, the rules are simple. We have one field of 16 cars we qualify right now. Out of 15 cars that registered for the class, we have seen 11 make a pass that are on the sheet. So unless we have some moving around, it should be an all-run field. Right now being led by a 659 and backed up with 3 7-second passes after that. So that's the top half of the field, what you'd want to aim for to be a front runner. The 2JZ rules. Rules are simple. You do not necessarily need to have a car that a 2JZ originated in. The car just must be 2JZ powered. Must retain factory-style front suspension with no wheelie bars and a 2,900 minimum weight with the driver on board. Nothing bigger than a 28 10.5-inch W slick or a 275/60 drag radial. Those are the rules. And once again, a class that must weigh each and every time they go down the racetrack. All right, attention in the pits and the staging lanes. Attention in the pits and the staging lanes. I have a car that is parked in the staging lanes with no driver anywhere near it. I believe it is part of Neighbor Racing. If you have parked a vehicle in the staging lanes, that is not a parking area. That is for race vehicles going down the track only. I need that vehicle moved immediately, please. Once again, I have a vehicle that is parked in the staging lanes. That is not where you need to be parking, no matter whether it's at the front, back, or in the middle. I need vehicles moved from that area, please. All right, attention in the pits. Attention in the pits. My next class call. Streetcar 749 and quicker. Streetcar 749 and quicker. I need you to lanes 3 and 4, please. Streetcar 749 and quicker. Streetcar 749 and quicker. I need you to the lanes, please. Lanes 3 and 4.
Pretty good. How about you? Nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm probably about there too. Yeah. When was your call time? Oh, good, dude. You're like real MVP. Yeah.
So getting that racetrack just a little bit tighter and a little bit better as we are about ready to go into
Yeah. I put in my lunch order.
2JZ.
Yeah, I texted that, so. Yeah. Cool. Great, sounds good.
Just about ready to go here into the 2JZ class, ladies and gentlemen. All right, our first pair coming to the water box for 2JZ. All right, here comes our first pair, ladies and gentlemen. Arthur Nunez, left-hand side, the 86 Toyota. Arthur Nunez, left side, 86 Toyota, currently qualified at 817. Right-hand side, Mo and Benny. In the Mark IV, and unfortunately for the Mark IV Supra, just did the hibbity hop, probably broke a driveline component. And unfortunately for Arthur, leaves before the Christmas tree is activated, so the classic Toyota Corolla will not get a time here. He was qualified with an 817, and that's where he'll stay. All right, just getting our next pairs ready to go. Now 12 cars on the sheet for 2JZ. Joe Jimenez Jr., or actually Jose Jimenez Jr., right side. The Toyota Tacoma has not made a lick yet. Out of Houston, Texas, right-hand side, the pickup truck. Seth Neighbor coming up out of Wixom, Michigan, left side. The 94 Supra, currently qualified at 791. He is in the number 4 spot. The pickup truck off the starting line and on a heater right side. 676 at 211 miles an hour for the pickup truck. Say hello to your new number 2 qualifier. Now 2 cars in the 2JZ class in the 6s. The left-hand side, laying down a 786 at 182, improving on Seth Neighbor's previous 791, but just got freight trained by Jose Jimenez Jr. And a 676 is only good enough for number 2. Here comes our next pair, Ross Bard, right side. And Eric Laferriere, Ross out of Texas, Decatur to be exact, 816-173 has him in the number 6 spot. Could we see our new number 1 qualifier left side? This is White Rice out of Rhode Island, Eric Laferriere, 97 Nissan 240 with the 2JZ under the hood. This car has run very quick in heads-up competition all across the United States. His first shot right here off the trailer. Can he go to number 1 and run quicker than 6:59? $117.60 for Laferriere to the top end. 640 at 229. New number 1 qualifier. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. That is your number 1 qualifier for 2JZ. 640 at 229. A 117.60 foot. Wow. Eric Laferriere right off the trailer, your number 1 qualifier. A 785 at 177 for Ross on the opposite side. And all it does is get him freight trained by over a second plus. He will go to the number 6 qualifying spot, Buck Lemoyne. Buck Lemoyne currently qualified with a 15-second pass. We know this car has a lot left in it. Will he get out of it right here? Still having problems off the 60-foot. So not going to help here. Buck currently in the number 12 spot with a 15-second pass, and I don't think he's going to improve on it. He will not. So 14 cars out of 15 that we had pre-registered have now made it on the sheet. And now 3 cars in the 6s, 2 joining them this session. We had 1 before this session. Jose Jimenez Jr. in the pickup truck and Eric Laferriere in White Rice, the 240. What a session of 2JZ, ladies and gentlemen. Just incredible. So this is an exhibition pass for Jordan Martin, the 2015 Lamborghini Huracan. He has made a lap at 7:41 at 194. See what he can get out of it right here for the Illinois-based Lamborghini. $132.60 foot. Should be better than his previous run. 7:23 at 2:05.60, improving by almost 0.2 of a second for Jordan Martin in the Lamborghini. Good run for him right there. That'll bring us to our GTR Unlimited class. Once again, I need fast streetcar, the quick streetcar class. Quick streetcar class, I need you now, please. Lanes 3 and 4, quick streetcar class. The quick streetcar class, I need you to lanes 3 and 4. As a matter of fact, I will take all streetcar. All streetcar, lanes 3 and 4, please. All streetcar class, both of them. All streetcar, lanes 3 and 4. Once again, I need all streetcar for your 6 qualifier, please. All streetcar. All streetcar. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. I need my quick stick shift to the lanes, please. Stick shift, the quick class to the lanes, please. First pair out of GTR Unlimited, Cesar Sauvignon and Clay Carrer. Clay out front right side goes 689 at 212 miles an hour. Look at him celebrate on the starting line. We now have 3 cars in the 6s. Clay will go to number 2 on the sheet. 689 at over 211 miles an hour, 212 to be exact. Clay previously came in with a 7 flat, now laid down the 6-second number he needed. And that will move him up. Nice and smooth and straight run watching it on Flo. And it did turn out beautifully. Now 3 cars in the GTR Unlimited class. In the 6s. We are double checking the racetrack currently. Just making sure everything is okay. We did see a small puff of smoke. Want to make sure everything is A-okay before we go back into action and move to our next class, which is GTR 68. Now, this class, another one that must go across the scale. 3,550 pounds minimum with the driver on board. And also a 68 millimeter max on the turbos. Currently, 1 car qualified in the 6s. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. I've called both my streetcar classes, to the lanes, please, both streetcar classes. Lanes 5 and 6, please, both streetcar classes, lanes 5 and 6. I also need my quick stick shift class, lanes 7 and 8. My quick stick shift class, lanes 7 and 8, please. Our first pair out here in the GTR 68 class. Samuel DeVries and David Salt. Salt's left side, 835 at 193. Good trap speed, but lost some ET on the 60-foot. Previously qualified with a 757, so he'll stay with that. Samuel DeVries on the right side, 1028 at just 88 miles an hour. Will not improve on his previous 8-second pass, so he will stay on the bump spot currently at number 16. Our next pair, Steve Mizza and Brandon Johnson, waiting for the ready to do the burnouts. And it looks like we actually have a car stopped on the top end. We have a car stopped along the wall on the right-hand side of the racetrack, so we are down here for just a minute while we get that taken care of. And it looks like after getting stopped at the top end, the car on the right-hand side of the track got refired. So top end is clear. Our next pair ready. Brandon Johnson, Steve Mizza. Mizza right side. The Lakewood, Washington-based 2013 GTR qualified 7:59. Currently in the number 10 spot, right side, that's the purple car. Brandon Johnson, out of Garland, Texas, the 2017 GTR, the white one, 7:95. He is currently qualified in the 13th spot. He leaves the starting line first, and the car moving around on him quite a bit. Stays with it. Right side will go 7:59, matching his previous run at 191, same speed too. 8:49 at 172 as Brandon Johnson all over the left-hand side of the racetrack, and that is not the way to get a low ET out of your car. It gets you to be able to spend a little bit more time on the racetrack, so if that's what you're looking for, it's a good job, but it will not get you the low ET you want. So both drivers will stay qualified where they were previously. And Redzo Mujanovic, unfortunately having problems right off the starting line. We'll run it out the back door, and we'll go 13:68 at 144 miles an hour. We'll keep him qualified number 18, so not currently in the field. And Redzo from Bowling Green, Kentucky with the 2013 GTR will have to hope to come back and try again. He lost a lot of time between the 60-foot and the 330. The car showing it's got good top end potential, but just having problems on the front half. So we will touch up the starting line, ladies and gentlemen, and get ready for our next class, which is street car. So once again, street car, if you're not in the lanes, you're late. Street car, your final call. If you're not in the lanes, you're late. I have also put out the call for my quick stick shift class. My quick stick shift class, lanes 7 and 8, and now I will take all stick shift. All stick shift, lanes 7 and 8, please. All stick. All stick shift. I need you to the lanes, please. So once again, I have called all streetcar lanes 5 and 6, and all stick shift lanes 7 and 8, please. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, while we have a moment, while we are touching up the racetrack, getting ready for streetcar, make sure you go and visit the TX2K merchandise booth that is located just behind the grandstands. Make sure you go over and grab yourself some TX2K merchandise before we sell out of it. We were at kind of low levels to start with today, as a bunch of people already went and picked theirs up over the last couple of days. Also, if you've decided you've had your fill of drag racing for a moment, you want to walk around, over 100 different manufacturers located throughout Texas Motorplex. So definitely get out there, see all the companies, all the great shops, including Wicked Motorsports. They're in booth spot number 98. They brought a hub dyno with them. So if you'd like to put your car or truck on the dyno, see what kind of power it makes, maybe check your tune-up before you make your next pass, go over and visit Wicked Motorsports. That's W-I-K-D Motorsports in booth number 98. Once again, starting out with a 6-second hot rod, just like the last time. Your current number 2 qualifier right-hand side and number 8 qualifier left-hand side. I believe they ran each other in the previous pairing as well. Brian Cummings and Jeremy Sparks will get us started here in Street Car for the 6th session. How would you like to pull to the starting line in a 2014 GT Mustang based out of Louisiana? That's Brian Cummings, left side, currently qualified in the number 8 spot, a 7:13 at 202 miles an hour. You look over and see the Fox Mustang and know that you're 4/10 slower. That's about 2.5 car lengths at the finish line. Jeremy Sparks out of Cleveland, Tennessee, right side. You see the big Duck X Production sticker on the back. This is the winner of the Street Car Bragging Rights class from last year's No Mercy. Jeremy, currently qualified at 672. 106 to the 60-foot for Sparks. To the top end they go. 664 at 208.57 miles an hour for Sparks. He closes the gap ever so much on Brett LaSala. 709 at 203 for Brian Cummings. Again, how would you like to know you just ran a low 7 and got 4/10 behind another street car in the opposite lane? Wow. Sparks laying down the quick run so far of the session, 664 at 208 miles an hour. And again, a 106 60-foot, 430 at 168 to the 8th mile. Here comes your next pair of cars. Earl Schexnayder and Jonathan Lawman. Lawman right side, currently qualified at 777 in the Louisiana-based Mustang. Earl, left side, 919 in his first and only pass. And he spins the tires right off the starting line. And right side, Jonathan Lawman drops the parachute early. Will coast to an 887. He got the 8th mile numbers. Probably just wanted to make a checkout run to the 8th mile and then cut it loose. Earl Schexnayder doing exactly what I expected, pulls over and shuts it off. Hopefully the damage is not too bad and he can come back to make either the next qualifier or to participate in eliminations. So we'll be down here for just a minute while we get that taken care of. All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I have called both of my stick shift classes, stick shift quick and stick shift slow, to lanes 7 and 8. Both of my stick shift classes, stick shift quick and stick shift slow. Need you to lanes 7 and 8, please. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. I need DCT, DCT, lanes 9 and 10, please. DCT. DCT, lanes 9 and 10, please. DCT. All right, so once again, Earl, thank you so much for pulling over to the side and shutting it off as quickly as you did. Hopefully the Orange Mustang will be back in competition here shortly. And because he pulled over real quickly here on the left side of the racetrack, should hopefully take just a minute or two to get it cleaned up, and we will be back underway. So, ladies and gentlemen, should only take us a few minutes to get everything cleaned up and ready to go one more time. Again, opening this session of Streetcar with Jeremy Sparks laying down an amazing run. As I said, 664, he saw his 0.08 of a second off his previous best with a 106.0 60 foot. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to touch up the racetrack here just a little bit. Once again, thankfully, Earl pulled over right away just past the white area on the left side of the racetrack. So the cleanup work should not take very long at all before we are ready to go back to action again. Zachary Walton and Tyler Garcia waiting at the ready mark. Once again, I have called stick shift, both quick and slow. Stick shift, quick and slow. Lanes 7 and 8, please. Stick shift. Quick and slow classes, all stick cars. I need you to lane 7 and 8. I have called DCT. DCT for qualifier number 6, lanes 9 and 10, please. DCT. DCT for your 6 qualifier, lanes 9 and 10, please. the Mustang and the Supra. Zachary Walton, Tyler Garcia off the starting line and side by side to the finish line. An 840 at 160 right side improvement for Tyler Garcia. 847 at 162 left side for Zachary Walton, about 200 slower than what he ran previously, but it'll keep both of them qualified in the third field. I know some of you may not have heard me, the slightly loud 66 Chevy 2 Nova of Tyree Smith, the Ty-Tech car. Coming up left-hand side, pontificating generous amounts of noise from the Pro-Charged Tennessee-based Nova. 707 at 191 is what he's currently qualified with. He sits in the number 6 spot. Robert Robinson in the Chevy Little Love truck out of Maurice, Louisiana. Currently is qualified in the number 33 spot with an 8.0 pass. Tyree, 7.04, but a lot of smoke at 190 miles an hour. He improves on his ET, but we had a little puff of smoke at the top end, so we're going to wait on the top end to confirm everything is okay. That's Tyree's best pass so far, though. So watching the replay, there was a puff of smoke at the top end, so we have had both the spotters come out and check the area of the racetrack just to make sure everything is okay. Our next pair waiting just either in or behind the water, Harry Charbonnet out of Jennings, Louisiana, left side, and Zach Myers out of Orlando, Florida, right-hand side in the OG Snot Rocket. Now the 1.5. as it has been completely redone. He picked it up from Brett LaSalle about 2 years ago when Brett decided to build Snot Rocket 2.0. And then getting a 7 flat out of it at the Mod Nationals later that year in 2022. Unfortunately, Zach had a heater going, and I mean flame. He was on a heater of a pass, but unfortunately it also had some flames at the top end. And the only thing he was missing was the marshmallows and the hot dogs, and unfortunately the Snot Rocket got slightly charred. So Zach took some time, went ahead and completely had it rewired, updated the roll cage in it, and added some additional safety equipment. They put a brand new motor in it, updated some additional stuff, and brought it out about a month before Sick Week this year to get it tested out. Completed his first ever drag and drive with his wife and kids joining him as part of Sick Ward. And as a matter of fact, what made it even better is Zach's wife actually sung the national anthem 3 out of 5 days. So pretty cool to have your family join you, and I would say a proud moment for Zach to be able to listen to his wife sing the national anthem at 3 different racetracks. So right now, Myers currently qualified with a, I'd call it a mild off the gas, 799. Harry over on the left-hand side, the 4th gen Camaro out of Louisiana, the 2001 model, currently qualified with a 908 at 147. Now a 908, we are taking 4 fields of 16, and a 908 will get you in there, but you're in the final field, and right now I have not had all 64 field slots full, but we have 62 filled. Once we get a few more cars, and we do have some new ones showing up here as we are in our 3rd day of qualifying, we may start to create a bump that will possibly knock some cars out. So it'll be interesting to see where the bump lands. So it looks like we have vehicles stopped just past the finish line on the left side. May have found a little bit of fluid down there. As I'm watching on the FloRacing feed, obviously, again, we're not going to send anybody down the racetrack without having everything clean and ready to go. So it looks like this one might take a few minutes. So we're going to send the track equipment down. Ladies and gentlemen, now is a great time to go and visit the TX2K merchandise booth. As I mentioned earlier, they were very low on the amount of product that they had. Make sure you go over and visit them. They're located just on the front side of the grandstand. So as you walk out of the grandstands and walk like you're heading towards the tower and you make a right, head that direction, you'll see the 2X2K merchandise booth. Just one booth out of over 100 for shops, manufacturers, and suppliers, including our presenting sponsor, Summit Racing Equipment. And we appreciate Summit, the World Speed Shop, being part of the 25th anniversary of TX2K here at our first visit to Texas Motorplex. And I'll tell you what, it has been quite the first visit here to Texas Motorplex. We have laid down some record numbers. We have seen some very impressive performances. And as Peter and I have talked about over the last 2 days, we have had some stuff happen that has never happened before. For example, the most ever cars in roll racing that they have had, over 200 at one event, has been 7 cars. We now have 27. Yes, 27, almost 4 times as many. To get into the roll racing, in other words, to capture a top 56 spot, you needed to run faster than 188.08 miles an hour. In the drag racing segment, in the history of TX2K and FL2K, there have been 0 cars running quicker than 8 seconds flat in the A90 class. We now have 4 of them. In another one of our classes, we have an all 6 and 7 second field for the top 16. I believe that is DCT. That is also a first time that has ever happened. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to address the left-hand side. Looks like about the 1,000-foot mark down. So hopefully Tyree Smith did not have any terminal damage in that 66 Chevy 2 on the 704 pass he just made. But we'll be down here for a little bit while we clean that up. But again, the track crew's working hard at it. The starting line also getting some touch up. We'll be back underway here in just a little bit. Again, while we have the downtime, please get out and see all of our great sponsors, vendors, and shops. They are who makes this TX2K possible. Without their support, we could not do this.
FloRacing, this is Courtney Enders here with yet another episode of getting to know the drivers of the Pro Superstar Shootout that you can find on FloRacing. Hey FloRacing, this is Courtney Enders here with yet another episode of getting to know the drivers of the Pro Superstar Shootout that you can find on FloRacing. And I have found superstar Austin Prock, driver of the Top Fuel John Force racing car. But we're not going to talk about that, Austin. I want to get to know you on a different level. You and I are buddies, and I picked up that you kind of cook a lot. I follow you on Instagram. We do all these things. So are you a good chef?
Absolutely. It's one of the things that I love to do besides race. So really my only hobby, and we're going to eat some delicious food today. Listen,
I have a surprise for you. This isn't your camp. This isn't your kitchen. But Chef Cody has made the elite kitchen yours. So let's go make some food.
All right.
Austin, I don't know if you've ever been over here to play at the Pro Stock pits, but we've got a pretty decent setup. I am not domesticated. I do not cook. I am an Uber Eats kind of gal. But do you think that this will suffice for a nice little menu we've made?
Absolutely. It's beautifully set up, and it looks like it has everything I could ever need. So let's get to it.
All right, first things first. Tell us what we're making today.
So we're going to do some blackened red snapper flatbreads. Going to make a nice chimichurri sauce and then a yogurt sauce to go and balance that heat out a little bit. So I'm looking forward to it. I've made these once before, and they were a huge hit. So Let's give it a go.
I skipped lunch and I'm hungry.
All right, perfect.
So
We're
let's
gonna eat.
dive into it. I want you to kind of explain, as you're getting started, I'm gonna get out of your hair, let you do your thing as you need to, but give us just a little history of why cooking, why culinary school, and that background of your life.
All started really with my mother to begin with, and then as a kid when I would come to the races, we had a chef at John Force Racing, Johnny Rosher. He actually has a couple restaurants up in Lake Tahoe. If I wasn't working on the car as a kid, I was in the kitchen helping him, so he really boosted the love for me, and my first job at 13 was in the kitchen at a Greek restaurant, so I've been doing it quite a while now.
Well, perfect. So let's show us what you got and kind of give us a little taste so I can maybe go back home and do this for myself. Yeah, right. What kind of fish did we get today?
We got some red snapper here. I'm just gonna get it going so I can get it up to room temp before I grill it, get the seasoning on it, let it mingle a little bit, maybe put a little lime juice on it.
So tell us about culinary school. Where did you go to? What was that like? And kind of give me a little insight of that.
I actually went to a place called the Art Institute of Indianapolis. It was downtown Indianapolis, and to be honest, I wanted to go to business school, but through high school I didn't really try all that hard, and got bounced out of everywhere I applied for, so cooking was where I landed, and honestly it was the best thing that's ever happened to me, really, other than racing professionally. I found a love for something, and it's something I can entertain everyone with. I can have people over to my house. I'll cook for 30 or 40 people at a time, and going to that schooling just made that so much easier.
Do you cook for your team? Do you have parties at your house and all that?
Absolutely, yes. Lots of team parties, especially after wins.
Listen, I'm telling you, I see it on your Instagram. That's kind of how this started, and I got to know about your passion. You do, and it's not just the cooking. You have a whole spread. Your love for hosting, is that another part of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I love to entertain. You know, there's nothing better than, for me, is being around people and making people smile. So it's an easy way for me to do it.
Talk to me a little bit about your history in this sport. A lot of people may not know your name, where you race. They kind of intertwine in a weird way.
Yeah, so I'm actually a fourth-generation racer. My great-grandfather raced back in the 30s and 40s, racing midgets and Indy cars. Actually finished 10th in the Indianapolis 500 as a ride-on mechanic. My grandfather, he was a pioneer of the sport and drag racing. Tom Brock racing nitro funny cars. My dad was full-time on the race car at, I think, 13, and has been doing it ever since. Me and my brother, all three of us, we just fell in love with it the same way. It's all we know. I don't know what I would do without it. When COVID hit and I lost my ride, I didn't know what to do with my life. I ended up working construction, and that is definitely not for me.
Would you ever go work in a kitchen? Would you ever try, and if this disappears?
I think that I would like to open a restaurant one day. Johnny, he tells me, don't get into it. It's way too much work, way too stressful. But it has been a dream of mine, a goal of mine, to eventually do that one day. It wouldn't be much of a retirement, but that's my retirement plan.
Besides drag racing, anything you and your family have been into on other brands of motorsports?
I actually grew up circle track racing, so I raced for Tony Stewart for 5 years, racing open wheel cars, midgets, and sprint cars. And I have a huge passion for that. Back in 2021, I ran the Chili Bowl for the 3rd time. When some of the fans come to the racetrack and they'll have one of my circle track shirts on, they'll be like, we've been following you since you were doing this. So that means a lot to me.
Yeah, so with this sense, FloRacing is really, really big in the circle track scene. Very new with drag racing, and so we're trying to integrate these audiences and share the love for motorsports. So talk to your circle track friends here about some cool things about drag racing and why they need to switch over.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest reasons right now is a legendary circle track racer is out here owning teams and dabbling in it himself, you know, so obviously all motorsports kind of cross paths, but you definitely need to watch it on Flow first, and if you're interested in it, you've got to come to the racetrack, because TV does nothing for this sport. You've got to be out here, feel it. The top fuel dragster I'm driving nowadays is making close to 12,000 horsepower out of an 8-cylinder.
I can't even wrap my head around that.
It's just, it's something that everybody should experience, but only few get to driving them.
Sensory-wise, kind of explain what you go through in that cockpit.
Yeah, it's almost sensory overload. You know, everything's happening so fast, you're really just driving off instinct for the most time. But when the car doesn't make it down the racetrack and it smokes the tires or shakes, that's really when all my circle track background comes into play. Being able to feather the throttle, feel that tire in your ass, and getting the thing to recover. And I've won a handful of rounds doing that this year, and that's all paid off from that circle track racing.
I love it. And then you come here and slice up jalapenos.
That's right.
A man of many, many talents.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch gears to cooking for a little bit.
Okay.
I cook the most basic of meals, and when you guys brag on our group text, I send like, you know, a preheated roasted chicken or something.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite tools to work with in the kitchen?
Really, I can use just about everything.
Obviously, we've set you up.
Yeah, it just depends on what I'm cooking. I try and cook a little bit of everything. I can make Italian food, I can roll sushi, I can do a little bit of it all. So I have just about every gadget you can think of at my house. I probably have 40 cabinets just full of culinary shit.
And if you came to my house, Austin, and saw my cabinets, you would shun me.
Yeah.
It's bad. So where do you get your recipe inspiration from? Do you think them up in your head, or do you follow some things online?
Yeah, I actually do my best recipe making sleeping. I'll dream something up and I'll wake up and I go to the store that morning, get everything that I think I need, and go to town when I get home.
And you just know what these taste like to know how to make it.
Yeah,
good.
so when I went to culinary school, one of the cool tests that we used to have to do was we would get blindfolded and they would give us a piece of vegetable, meat, seasoning, spice, you name it, and we would have to eat it and tell them exactly what it was. So you kind of learn what everything tastes like and what blends well together.
So everybody cuts a little bit different. Is these methods things you were taught, or do you cut off your finger and learn?
I have cut off my finger once, but yeah, with one of the first classes you do at culinary school, they teach you how to handle a knife, knife skills. So pretty
Probably
much
a good place to start.
Yeah, all you do for like 6 weeks is literally just chop stuff up and throw it out. And I think that's why that schooling is so expensive, because you waste a lot. But really just being in the kitchen, working in the restaurant, it's very fast paced. It's actually a lot similar to working on one of these race cars. It's kind of like organized chaos, I call it. Everybody knows exactly where they need to be at the right time. I think that was one of the reasons I liked working in the restaurant so much.
Switch modes to back to the race car here. Everybody knows John Porsche the same. Like, it doesn't matter if we're at a baseball game. You mentioned drag racing.
Yeah.
They say John Porsche.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about what it's like being on the inside of that dynasty, because that's what it is.
It's really cool, to be honest. You know, as a young kid growing up, I started racing when I was 10, and all I wanted to do was be a professional race car driver. To get a call from John Porsche saying, hey, I want you to come over and be a part of my team, that was unbelievable. And then to start my career, Don Perdome went out there and found me the funding to go racing. I've raced under Tony Stewart. Just all these legends that I've been able to be a part of. It's really special and something to be grateful for
It is,
sure.
and the longevity of what you guys have been able to do over at John Porsche Racing is just unheard of, and the rest of us just strive for it. But Pro Superstar Shootout, it's kind of this dream that the Pro organization had. We weren't really sure how the teams were going to respond to it, but I think the main purpose of this race is all of us coming together as a sport with one goal: to make a difference for the drivers, the teams, the sponsors, and the fans. So when you first heard about this race and you knew that you guys were going to be a part of this, what were your first initial thoughts?
I was excited. I love NHRA drag racing and drag racing in general, and any way we can spread the word, gain more viewership, I think there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great avenue to look at. I believe being on FloRacing is going to bring a ton of new viewership to this sport. For me, it's like the Formula One deal, that Drive to Survive series on Netflix. I never had any interest in Formula One, but you know, they went down a different avenue and advertised to a different crowd, and I'm a huge F1 fan now. But yeah, I think the avenue we're going down with Flo and this Pro Shootout is going to be great.
Something that we're going to be able to do at this Superstar Shootout is, like we're doing right now, getting to know a different side. Nowadays, we've got so many cool personalities with different passions, different talents and stuff. Are you excited or nervous to let fans in on this side of you, or having that live streaming from the pits that we're going to have? You're going to be able to choose which screen you want to watch and come right live to watch Austin Prock Steele. Are you excited to let everybody in?
Absolutely. You know, I think getting to know, you know, the background of a driver and the personality of a driver brings in a lot more fans. Like my neighbor, for instance, he was never a motorsports fan, but he got to know me, and now he's a huge drag racing fan. But he only watches it because he knows me and he has a personal connection with me, and that gets him interested in it. So yeah, I think the behind the scenes, getting to know people is going to be huge.
And it's big, like in NASCAR, you know, people follow motorsports because they like cars. You got Chevy guys, you got Mopar guys, all the things, or gals. I feel like if we could get this on the cooking network or something, we could have a whole reach of chefs
Yes.
or people who like this that say, oh, I didn't know anything about drag racing, but that guy cooks right there.
You know, you see some of these kids on social media nowadays, and they'll have a couple million followers, and all they're doing is the same
Yep.
thing I'm doing here, and people just eat it up because it's relatable to them. They love to cook at home.
They literally eat it up.
Yes, exactly. I think if we could do some sort of crossover like that, it would definitely bring in a whole bunch of new sets of eyes. We're going to turn this on, and then you're going to slowly drizzle olive oil in here until I tell you to stop.
Nervous.
Yeah, keep pulsing it like that.
Womp, 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 womp.
It's like an old John Force burnout.
Now I'm into it.
Okay, so now you can add a little bit of olive oil while it's running.
While it's running.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right.
I follow directions well.
Yeah, you did great.
I'm a good listener. My dad trained me well.
Yeah, just dump it in there. Perfect. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good so far. Then you got to waft.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of hard with the breeze here.
No, it smells good.
It actually does smell pretty
It
good.
smells really
might be
good.
pretty close. Yeah, kind of mix that up, and then we might need to season it a little bit. I don't think it needs anything else. It's actually pretty damn good how it is.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah, that is good.
And it was pretty easy. I may be able to do something like that. I may be texting you for that recipe.
Okay, now I'm gonna make like a kind of like a yogurt sauce or a tzatziki sauce. I'm just gonna mix some of this in with this.
Okay. What are you thinking? More salt?
A little salt, yeah.
Are you one of those chefs that when you go to a restaurant, you like get weird and you get really judgmental?
So judgmental. Yeah, it's really hard for me to go. That's why I cook at home all the time, because I can go out and eat and spend all this money, which I like to do. Like if I go out and eat, I eat like at a nice steakhouse.
You're like a king.
I do not like dropping a coin on
Samba sushi in Vegas.
Yeah, yes.
Amazing. What do you got there? Some garlic? Something garlic?
Yeah, granulated.
See, look, I knew what it
garlic.
looked like. What I've learned about anytime I try and cook is like, it seems overwhelming and complicated, and it is. It's talent for sure, but like, this isn't rocket science. Ah,
No.
rocket. My first rocket pun.
There you go. Yeah, very simple.
I learned this from you.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's gonna be good on
Oh
the
my
fish.
gosh. Moment of truth.
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh my lord.
That's some tender stuff right there. Try that. See how if the skin's all right.
Wait.
There it is. You guys know what that means.
Even the pita smells good.
Oh yeah, bro. All right. So here's hand
the
me one of
plates?
those plates, please.
All our guys are going to be jealous. They said, is Austin cooking for all of us? I said,
I
nope.
should have.
You don't want to cook for 60 of us.
And we're gonna go a little bit of this.
Mmm. So colorful.
Okay.
Now I get why they say on the shows when they say, oh, my mouth's watering. I'm literally salivating. So how important?
I can go. Yeah.
So we are fired back up and ready to go. Harry Charbonnier left side, Zach Myers right side. Myers in the Mustang off first. And he does run it to the top end a little further. 789 at 160, 953 at 150 for Harry on the left side of the Camaro. So left side does not improve, right side does improve. That should lock up a second field spot for Zach Myers. The car obviously has a lot left, but he is just getting his feet wet. I believe this is only his second or third event in the car, so he wants to be able to get it set up just right. Here comes Texas's own Tammy Burks, the turbocharged, a little bit of purple influence on the wheels. 2000 model Camaro right-hand side, currently qualified at 778, will line up against Chad Cates. The very clean C4 1991 Corvette qualified with 786 left side. So these two cars qualified within a tenth of a second of each other. Let's see if they make full pulse here. Get the turbo spooled up, Corvette in, Camaro follows, and off we go. Corvette has problems, Timmy, on a 133/60 foot. Sounds like she ran it to the 8th. She did, 8:33 at just 130 for Tammy. The numbers look good to the 8th mile, 5:08 at 145, but unfortunately for Chad Cates, he has problems. Car came off the starting line and immediately fell silent. But again, the driver doing exactly what they should, shut it off and pull it over to the side, and we very much appreciate that. So hopefully no fluid and or very little, so we can get right back after it here. So gonna wait to see what we've got going here.
You still have to kind of contort around this.
Yeah, but you have way more room to do it now.
Yeah.
Sweet. I don't know if y'all see this here yet, but
I think it is.
Sweet.
All right, so it looks like we are good to go. Just a tad bit of touch-up, not much. And then ready to rock and roll one more time. We're rolling a Camaro versus Mustang battle into the water box.
Let me know if I need to stop moving.
Do what?
Let me know if I need to stop moving.
Oh, yeah.
Shakes and stuff.
All the RPM right-hand side for Charles Saito out of Weston, Florida. Ryan Weger out of Oklahoma, left-hand side, the ZL1 2018 model Camaro. Both of these cars are solidly in the field right now. The Camaro left side, 862 at 160, which would put him in the bottom of the third field. Charles Saito, 779 at 177, is currently number 21. That puts him in the second field. So once again, we are looking at about 2,800 feet. It is very muggy, not the best air. Camaro off the line first. Mustang will give chase. We'll get out of the gas early. The Camaro improving 840 at 165 for Ryan, and 846 at just 114 right side. So, Charles, another car running it to about the 8th mile.
Garrett's a top end, Graham's at finish now.
And then clicking it off, but left side going 840. So that will improve his qualifying standing. Once again, I'm looking for DCT lanes 9 and 10, please. DCT lanes 9 and 10, please. DCT lanes 9 and 10, please. Parker Jones, Fernando Hernandez next in the Mustang Camaro battle. Mustang left side for Parker. Fernando right side in the Camaro, and Fernando strikes the tires immediately. The Mustang off end, rolling, looking to improve an 834, and goes 831 at 169, so a better ET and a better speed. No parachute, though. Usually a decent amount of shutdown room here at the Texas Motorplex, so they should be able to get that one stopped in time. The Camaro instantly struck the tires, and that was the end of his chances. Box. Our next pair out of the water box, again, another Camaro versus Mustang battle. This time the Camaro on the right-hand side, the Mustang on the left. The S550 chassis Mustang, 2015 model, the first year they built this body. Wayne Willoughby out of Villa Rica, Georgia, 971 at 155, so he's like, would want to get into the 8-second range and move up. Right side, Michael Mija, 847 at 162 for the Camaro. And the Camaro breaks something. The Mustang instantly spins the tires, has pedaled it back after it. 10-12 will not improve on his 971 at 155. The Camaro of Michael will stay qualified with the 847, but instantly broke something right off the starting line, and you see that they immediately pulled over the side and shut it off. It's exactly what you should do. So we appreciate that, Michael. Thank you, sir. Looks like they'll be able to push it back, and hopefully no damage where he'll be able to not come back and participate with us, because he is qualified currently. All right, while we have a moment with the touch-up work here on the racetrack, drivers, we know that there are a lot of different pit spots around Texas Motorplex. We would ask that you please check your wheelhouses for rocks and dust and debris before you come to the lanes, please. And also, when you get to the staging lanes, please also check them there. Drivers, please check your wheelhouses for debris, rocks, dust, dirt, etc., as we have already had several cars now that have dropped some stuff on the starting line, and with the glue combination, that makes it where it can be tough to get it cleaned up in a timely fashion. So again, we do appreciate your help with that. So once again, as the crew working on the racetrack, as I've mentioned more than a few times, just because they're doing such a great job here keeping us moving along and once again giving us a great surface here at Texas Motorplex. The combination of the Texas Motorplex crew, the crew from Total Venue Concepts, and a trio of fine gentlemen from Maryland International Raceway, who I know that are missing one here, the voice of TX2K for the last 4 years, Fabian Brown, missing. Fabian, hope you're doing okay back in Maryland. We do miss you. And we get the signal to fire them back up. The pair of Mustangs will go to the water box here. All right, attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Exhibition, exhibition, I need you to the lanes, please. Exhibition, exhibition, I need you to the lanes, please. All right, attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Exhibition, exhibition, lane 1, please. Exhibition, lane 1. Barry Gomez, Mallory Woods, pair of 8-second Mustangs. Right side in, left side in. Mallory Woods, a nice little wheel stand there in the Converto turbocharged Mustang. Now here comes Barry Gomez. 779 at 189 for Gomez. Improving on his 810 at 180 from previous. That'll move him up to number 22 in the sheet. 898 at 130, lifting early. For Mallory Woods, she had already run in the 8s, so she will stay where she was.
Oh, yeah.
Alexander Esparza and Rob Wood next. Wood in the 2017 Challenger right side, currently qualified at 985. Alexander, the four-door 2014 Chevy, and can't get in time. He is red lighted out. So he will not get an ET, as he did not stay in the beams before the tree was activated, so unfortunately will not get an ET there. Rob Wood out of the gas early and coast to a 12-second pass.
Hold on.
So for those of you wondering why there was no time in the left lane, he shallow staged, and as he was rocking, he bumped out of the beam. In other words, he did not fully stage. As he was bumping in, he was too shallow.
Yep, you have a preset amount of time to get in and get staged, and unfortunately, as mentioned, because he was rocking and the timer timed him out, that's why Alexander did not get an ET there. He will stay on his 772 from previous. Jimmy Dale coming up next in the two-tone Mustang left side. Currently qualified with an 861. Martin Istre out of Louisiana on the right-hand side in the 1988 Mustang. He is currently qualified at 780 at 172. Jimmy rocked out of the beams last time. This time he goes right in. Big wheel stand, and Jimmy pedals out of it beautifully. Little above the smoke out of the right-hand side. And both will coast to an 8-second pass. 883 left side, 895 right side. Look at the speeds, though. Only 118 and 104 miles an hour. As basically both drivers wanted the 8th mile numbers and then lifted. So we'll send the spotters out to check the racetrack. As you saw the puff of smoke out of the right side. As soon as they give us the all clear, we will fire them back up. But Jimmy Dale on a good run there, as was the right-hand side. Our next pair, the Mustang and the Mark IV Supra. Efren Garcia Jr. out of California right side in the Toyota. Anthony Reyes out of Texas in the Mustang left side. Anthony needs to get in. He does not get in time. He gets timed out. The Toyota on its way to bettering the 11 at 94 and goes 781 at 183. Garcia will move into the middle of the second pack.
So, Derek, explain to the crowd what happened there. The left lane and the right lane pre-staged, the right lane staged, and then we sat there for a while waiting.
So to prevent people from sitting on, like, say, trans brakes and two steps, for example, there is a time limit set into the Christmas tree. It is called auto start. What happens is once you have 3 bulbs lit, meaning one car is completely staged, the other car is pre-staged, it starts a countdown timer. So basically it overrides the starter to give everybody the same amount of time to get in and get staged. If you take longer than the preset amount of time, which is normally 7 to 10 seconds, it will red light you if you are not fully staged, which is what we just saw right there. It prevents burn downs and allows the other driver to make a single pass. So Zach Westrom in the twin turbo Viper will make a single shot here out of Iowa left side. And the Viper has problems right off the starting line, but now fully under power. His ET no doubt will be effective. 1173, but look at the speed, 180 miles an hour, but has problems with it trying to get it off the starting line. Unfortunately, he had a 3.3 second 60 foot. So a lot of his ET vanishing right there, but again, 180 miles an hour out the back door. He may have another chance to get it right.
And for those of you that don't know, you're in for a treat. We've got Grub Worm come up in the right lane. Stick shift car, quickest in the world with a 6.61, I believe.
If you're building a track car or a daily driver, Autosports Engineering has got you covered. We manufacture some of the best billet performance parts in the market today, from transmission conversions to custom carbon drive shafts and drive shaft adapters. We use only the highest quality materials and equipment to ensure that our parts are not only strong, but also the finest quality. Whether you're looking to improve your vehicle's performance, reliability, or durability, Autosports Engineering has the perfect solution for you.
We drive tech. We drive the industry. Going beyond the limits. and advancing forward. A versatile all-in-one solution. We're here for you every step of the way. And that's why you see fuel tech everywhere.
Whether you're building a dedicated track car or a daily driver, Autosports Engineering has got you covered. We manufacture top quality billet performance parts that cater to a wide variety of applications, from transmission conversions and custom drive shafts to valve covers. We use only the finest materials and advanced technology to produce the most reliable parts out there in order for you to achieve your goals. If you would like to find out more about our products, feel free to reach out to us at autosportsengineering@gmail.com or check out the website at autosportsengineering.com.
We drive tech. We drive the industry, going beyond the limits and advancing forward. A versatile all-in-one solution. We're here for you every step of the way. And that's why you see fuel tech everywhere.
If you're building a track car or a daily driver, Autosports Engineering has got you covered. We manufacture some of the best billet performance parts in the market today, from transmission conversions to custom carbon drive shafts and drive shaft adapters. We use only the highest quality materials and equipment to ensure that our parts are not only strong, but also the finest quality. Whether you're looking to improve your vehicle's performance, reliability, or durability, Autosports Engineering has the perfect solution for you.
So once again, taking a little bit of sticky off the racetrack, because with the stick shift cars, we definitely want to have the best surface, and they need a little bit of wheel speed. You do not want to have it so tight and so much glue that it bogs the cars down or creates tire chatter or tire shake. So it looks like we are just about ready to roll them out next.
And no, this is not the Twilight Zone. You did actually hear Derek call cars to the staging lanes for qualifier round number 7. I don't know of any event in the world, mine included up until this year, where you actually get this many qualifying hits. Special thanks to TJ Bailey and the Texas Motorsports crew, the MDIR, Track Prep crew, Total Venue Concepts, TVC. We got a couple guys that are here from TVC. I'd put that combo of track prep specialists up against the best in the world. Jason Miller, who's been with us or was with us for, gosh, 6-7 years on the track prep side, introduced us to the MDIR crew. They love this race, so they keep coming back. Even when Jason couldn't make it back this year, we've got Gavin Carter, our race director that worked with Jason at World Cup. He's here as well. So a big shout out to Gavin. This team is incredible. Imagine the best of the best from Maryland, the best of the best from Texas Motorplex, and the best of the best out of Missouri, TVC, Total Venue Concepts, helping maintain this track surface. That's why it's been so good. I've had, gosh, probably 30 people come up to me and say they ran their personal best, and that's all a result of the hard work that this team is doing on the track. I'm kind of walking around with a microphone, driving a golf cart. These guys are doing all the real work. So they deserve all the credit. Just wanted to call that out while we have a little bit of downtime.
No, Peter, I couldn't have said it better. Again, that's part of the reason we have been able to get this many qualifiers in, is the great work of these crews combined. As I was telling Gavin earlier today, part of it is everybody kind of knows their assignment. Everybody knows what to do. And when you have that many people working on the racetrack as one, including the spotters, that helps narrow and cut down on the unnecessary lag time, and we get back to action a lot faster. And again, that's just the experience shining through from all three of those crews coming together to make everything work as good as it does. And as we've mentioned before, a bunch of people in the 1.1 second 60-foot times, and even Jeremy Sparks, who has laid down a 1.0 every time he's come up in street car. And that takes a great racetrack to be able to do that consistently. And as Peter said, I will definitely add in my attaboy and thank you so much for all your hard work to these great crews working on the racetrack. At this time, I will take A90. A90 for your 7th qualifier. A90. A90. I need you to lanes 5 and 6, please. A90. A90 for your 7th qualifier, lanes 5 and 6, please.
And what I wanted to do as we're talking about the track prep team is what I like to call save the best for last. Typically, the top end crew gets no love, but I wanted them to have their own spotlight for about 20 seconds because everyone's always worried about the start line. So DeMarcus Rogers and the top end crew are up there doing